All right, my mathematicians, we are going to work on adding or just adding integers today. I really don't like doing this in a video because I really like to ask questions and get you thinking about what's really going on, so hopefully it would make a better impact, but it looks like I'm just going to have to give you more answers, which that's what this year's been a whole lot of me just telling you how to do it versus trying to work together to figure it out. Okay, we're going to think back to probably second grade. You've done positive numbers and added them for a very long time. So when we look at these answers, that's going to be 12, 10, 16, 12, 13, and 11. You've done that for a long time and probably have absolutely no problem doing that. Okay, when we start putting these negative numbers together, they want us to hop on number lines and do all that kind of stuff. And that's fine for a little while, but that's going to take a really, really long time. And if we try to draw number lines for all of these problems, it would take us forever. So let's say this is 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. I'm going to stop right there. All right, this says go to negative 2. So I would go right here to negative 2. And then it says to go in the negative direction 6 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that leaves us at negative 8. Okay? To me, that takes a long time. That is the way they would like for us to start. But I'm going to think about it like money. Okay, we talked about money earlier this week. If you lost $2 and then you lost $7 altogether, you've lost $9. If you lost $7 and then you lost 4, you lost 11. Okay, if you lose 3 and you lose 3 more altogether, you've lost 6. If you lose 5 and then you lose 4, you've lost 9. And then here, if you lose 12 and then you lose 3, you've lost 15. And I would probably cry with any of those because I don't like to lose money. So instead of, as our numbers get bigger and as more stuff starts to happen with our adding and subtracting, if you notice these, they're both positive. All of this row is both positive. All of this is both negative. And if we look at what we did in common to both of these, so when we're adding and we have the same sign as what it's telling us, then step 1, 8 and 4, we combined them and got 12. 2 and 6, we combined them and got 8. So the first thing we did was add. That's the first thing that happened. We added. When the sign's the same, we add. And we're just trying to write quick rules. Okay, the second thing, both of these were positive. It stayed positive. Both of these are negative. It stayed negative. And that's what happened all the way down. Everything was positive. It stayed positive. When both of them were negative, it stayed negative. So then we're going to write keep the sign. Now that's just a quick way when we start having a bunch of them and they all start to look different. We need some quick kind of like cheat notes to help us get these answers correct. And again, jumping on that number line helps us see it visually. So if that helps you, then do that. If not, we're going to try to go to these rules, and then hopefully these rules will start to make sense, or think about it like money, or whatever it is that's going to help you get these questions correct. All right, so now we're going to switch up. Now, both of these are the same sign, so obviously what's going to happen next is the signs are going to be different. So if you notice, I've got a positive number and a negative number. So what's going to happen when I have a positive and a negative number? So again, I still like to think about this as money. If I had $9 in my pocket, and this says negative 4, so then say 4 of them fell out. I had 9. You ride in a Ferris wheel or something, and four of them fall out, then you still have $5. You're still at positive 5. Okay? If you had $8 in your pocket and you lost 3, you're still at 5. Now, let's come to this one. If you had 5 and you lost 3, then you are at 2. Now this one's a little more difficult than thinking about like money. Let's say, kind of think about this one backwards. If you lost $7, let's say you were at the fair and you lost $7, and you say, well, I'm going to go backtrack and see if I can find any of my money. Well, as you were walking, you found $4. You didn't find all of your money, but you found some of it. How much are you still missing? You're still missing $3, okay? Here, you've got $9 that fell out of your pocket. You backtracked, you only found 1, so you're still missing $8, okay? Now, and I should have brought this up in the last one. You see in this one, I didn't bring it up, that these numbers have parentheses around them, negative numbers. Your second number, if it's negative, a lot of times it's going to have a parenthesis. And that's just saying, hey, pay attention to me, I'm negative. It doesn't mean multiply, nothing like that. It just says, hey, I'm negative, pay attention. And that's all this is saying, hey, I'm negative, pay attention to me, I'm different. Okay, here we've got same concept, a negative and a positive. A negative and a positive, the signs are different. So $10 falls out of our pocket. We find 3 of them. We're still missing 7, so we're at -7. Let's say $6 falls out of our pocket. We go looking, and we find even more money than we had to start with. So we lost 6, and now we're up to 9. So we've got $3 extra. Here you lost 8. You found some extra money, so you're at +2, you're to the good. You found extra money. Here you lost 3, but you only found 1, so you're still in the hole. Here you lost 5. Or maybe you could think about it like weight. Say you lost 5 pounds, you gained 2 of them back, you're still down 3 from where you started from. You can think about these a lot of different ways. Now we want to write 2 quick rules just like we wrote earlier. Noticing, first of all, if you look at all of these numbers, it doesn't matter if the negative came first or the positive came first. The key is they're different. One's positive and one's negative. You'll notice that on all of these, the first thing that we did was subtract. So step 1 is subtract. Now, number 2, how in the world do we easily decide, is it positive or is it negative? So if I look at this, the 9 is bigger and it stayed positive. The 8 is bigger and it's positive. But then this one switched to negative. 7, if I don't think about negative, 7 is bigger. So the way we would say this is you're going to, and this is a lot to say, take, oh Lord, I don't know what happened. Oh, I sat still too long. Sorry. Had to move. Sorry about that. Take the sign of the number with the greatest, we're going to think back to earlier in this week, the greatest absolute value. Take the sign of the number with the greatest absolute value. So the greatest absolute value would be 9 has the greatest absolute value, so it's going to stay negative. 5 has the greatest absolute value, so it's going to stay positive. 7 has the greatest absolute value, so it's going to stay negative. Now, this is probably going to sound funny, but sometimes just to make life easier, it's hard to say take the sign of the number with the greatest absolute value, which that is mathematically what has happened. That is mathematically correct. But sometimes we do things that, or have some slang words in there to help us out. So I'm going to say Big Daddy rules. Is that mathematically sound? No. But sometimes that helps us remember. So Big Daddy is the 5, so it's going to stay negative. Big Daddy's the 3, it's going to stay negative. Big Daddy's the 10, it's going to stay positive. So Big Daddy rules just means to take the sign of the number with the greatest absolute value. Okay, I rewrote the rules so we could see all of this on the same page to practice, okay? So we got a positive 16 and a negative 11. This just says P equals, so really and truly that's not affecting our problem. So we got a positive and a negative, so the signs are different. So different says subtract first, so we subtract and get 5. And which one is the biggest absolute value is 16. So Big Daddy's 16, so our answer stays positive. The signs are different. Different tells us first to subtract. Subtract and get 0. Remember, 0 is special. It's not going to be negative or positive. The signs are different. Different means subtract. Well, step 1 is subtract, and that's 75. And Big Daddy, or the biggest absolute value, is 100, so it's going to stay positive. The signs are different. Again, different means step 1 is subtract. So when I subtract these, I get 60. And the number with the greatest absolute value is negative, and I'll answer the phone and be right back. All right, I got that taken care of, so now back to business. Let's see, the signs are the same. So they're both negative. So when the signs are the same, step 1 tells us to add. So when we add, we get 29 and keep the sign. The signs are negative, so we're going to keep the negative. If we look at these two, the signs are the same. They're the same, it says add and keep the sign, so we're going to add and get 20, and it's going to remain negative. Okay, let's skip down to these problems. It tells us A is 8, so I'm going to replace that A with an 8. So now we've just got 8 plus 16. The signs are the same, so same means add, which is going to give us 24, and it's going to stay positive. C, it says C is 4, so instead of C, I'm going to put 4. Now the signs are different. Different, step 1, it says subtract. So I'm going to get 6. And the number with the greatest absolute value, so Big Daddy is going to be this negative 10. So our answer is going to be negative 6. So my time is fixing to cut me off of this video. So y'all try some, and if you've got questions, let me know.